Wayne Perro here from Baseball Canada with Andre. Today we're talking about how we can speed up the game. Andre, what's a simple way that we can implement, or a simple thing we can implement to speed up the game?
That's a very good topic. I think the first thing for you guys, coaches at home, is make sure that the players that are not in your starting lineup do have responsibilities at the start of the game that you can post in your dugout. Whether it's chasing foul balls, running for the catcher if you have that rule, or whatever other responsibilities that you can find, make sure that the players are aware of those responsibilities before the start of the game. So that's number one.
Yeah, I think the critical thing that you mentioned there is making sure that it's written down and it's posted so everybody knows their role and their responsibility.
Exactly.
What about in between innings? How do we speed up the game in between innings?
Well, you know that's a key element. I know some leagues do have rules as far as the number of seconds, the amount of seconds you have between innings. Like I've heard things such as 30, 45, 60 seconds between innings that are not part of the rules of the game. So if we can respect that, that could be a plus. The second thing also we often see is that the catcher is not ready because he was a runner or she was a runner before, and then by the time he or she gets dressed, and then we're wasting some time. So make sure that you have a second person, again based on your responsibilities, that is in charge of going there and warm up the pitcher while the actual catcher is getting dressed.
So that person could be a coach as well,
could be a
or
coach.
somebody else on the bench,
Totally.
not necessarily a player that's not in the game. Let's go back to the courtesy runner. What are the pros and the cons of having a courtesy runner for a catcher?
Good question. To be honest, I've seen more negative versus positive. Most of the time we see that the catcher is on second base, and then everyone yells, "It's too out, we need another runner." And by the time the runner gets there, and by the time the catcher, you're not gaining any time. I think the key thing is to make sure, again, that when the catcher comes in to go back on defense, we have someone else to warm up the pitcher. And also on the negative side is that if we remove that young catcher on the base paths every time he gets there or she gets there with two outs, that player will never learn how to run the bases with two outs, which is a key element of playing baseball.
Exactly. One last thing to consider. Tournament 12, for example, we use a 1-1 count for every batter. This is something you might consider in your friendly games, your exhibition games, early season games. These will all help speed up the game of baseball.
And maybe one last thing I'd like to add also is that as a coach, when you do make a visit, a trip to the mound, like you can run. Like you don't have to walk really slowly. Just jog there and jog back, and then that's going to speed up the game as well.